All right, everybody, what's up? Let's talk about the stock market today. This is the S&P 500 futures for the December 2021 contract. And today is October 7th, 2021. It's Thursday. If you want to know the symbol, that is ESZ21. These are future contracts, just so everybody knows, not options, futures. Okay? Now, I've had a few people ask me how do you draw these cycles, these green arcs? Okay, so we're going to cover that real quick. It's really simple to do. Now, this works if you're on the TOS platform. This is downloadable from TD Ameritrade. Okay, if you're on another platform, I can't help you because I don't even know if the drawing is available. Okay, so let's switch over to how we do it. How do we go about doing this? So up here you see it says drawings, right? So we're on a chart. Get yourself a chart, candlestick chart, and you're going to see drawings up here. So click drawings. Come down to drawing tools. Come over all the way down to that symbol right there. Even says cycle brackets. You click on it, left click. Okay? Let's say I just want to draw an arc below this candlestick right here. It doesn't matter where you do it. You can do it way down here if you want. Just doesn't really matter. But just keep it in alignment with the candlestick, right in alignment. You're gonna left click and then let go. You click once and let go. Then just drag the mouse to the right. See how this arcs are getting bigger? And they just keep getting bigger going that way. You can come back to that candlestick, right? That candlestick right there. You can come back and you can go all the way to the left. Okay. Okay, so let me show you how I do with this one. Okay, let me just look at something here real quick and I'll redo these one right here. So these are 21 bars, okay? Let me remove this. Okay? Yeah, remove that one. Okay, so let's do one together, right? I know that this right here is a cycle low because I can just tell from my eye. It's pretty obvious on this chart. Okay? So let me just squeeze this up a little bit so I get all of them in here. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll start with this one right here. Here we are right here. Okay, I'll left click. I just click and let go, and then just drag it, and I'm dragging it all the way over to this candlestick, right? And if you want, you can just, you're going to left click again, but before you left click again to make the arc permanent, you can just look on the screen to see if you like where the arcs are lining up as far as the lows. Okay, and they're pretty good. One that way would give you a better match on one, but it gives worse on the other. So overall, I see at least, all but one cycle is perfectly dead on. So I like what I'm seeing. I left click. Now it's red. But you know what? I like doing my daily, just a personal preference. So what I'm going to do here is I want to change this to green instead of red. Okay, and I want the line to be a little bit thicker. And I like, for the daily, this is a daily chart, so this daily cycle, I like my daily cycles to be green. So I'm going to right click right on the arc, left click edit properties. You can see this properties panel comes up. I'm going to pick green. I want my width of the line of the arc to be a little bit thicker. That's what it is. I click OK, and there you go. That's what we saw when I first came in, right? So now you got my arcs. There are your arcs. Boom. Beautiful. Okay, so now you know how to do the arcs. Okay, let me just switch over to a slightly different screen. All right, so now we're over on this one with a little bit more information on the chart. Here you go, guys. Look at that range, 66.5. Pretty decent range today. Pretty decent range. But you know what? A few things stand out to me. We had that consolidation in the middle of the cycle. I talked about this last few days. Look at those candlesticks, all just kind of bunched up sideways. Right in the middle of this cycle, right? Here's the, cycle runs from there, goes all the way over to there. This line right here is the middle of the cycle, right? And you can just see all those candlesticks just consolidated in the middle of this cycle, right here in the middle. Okay? But you know what stands out to me today, guys? this candlestick had decent range, came all the way up, didn't quite touch this upper trend line, and then look at that thing. It nearly pulled back, not quite halfway, but almost. Like just within a couple points of being halfway. That's not exactly a strong finish to the day. Okay? It's a very solid green day, but it wasn't a strong finish by any means. And on the continuous contract, it got a little bit closer to the top of the trend line, but here on the December contract, which is the one I'm looking at specifically, it didn't quite get as high. So you can see there's a little bit of room here. So what I'm thinking tomorrow is, are we going to get a candlestick that starts like right there and then just kind of fills in the wick, and that's as far as it goes. Sometimes you see that. The other thing is, you don't see a lot of this specific type of candlestick. It doesn't happen very often when it's a green candlestick. It doesn't. If you look at this entire screen, you almost don't see it anywhere. Right? This candlestick, I'm not going to say it's rare, but it's definitely seldom. And more times than not, what happens the next day is either a really small candlestick, like just like a little one like that, or it's red. So tomorrow, if I had to guess, it's going to be either a small candlestick or it's going to be red. But, there's so much, which seems odd when looking down here at the Stochastic Momentum Index now. Okay. You have a lot of momentum here. Really strong momentum. Right? Nice separation between the Stochastic Momentum fast and slow line. Big Daddy says we're going up. The VIX is tapered off. But this candlestick here, the way it pulled back today, and there's another thing I want to point out. Look at down here at the bottom. This is the Dow Jones Transportation. It's a down day. Look at that. I know it's kind of small down here, but the Dow Jones Transportation actually closed below its open. Definitely not doing what the S&P 500 is doing. And by the way, the divergence, if you look way back here, look at this divergence back on all the way on. Let's see if I can get the. Yeah, okay, anyway, you can't see on the screen, but it's like over here, it's like May 10th. It's been going down ever since, like this. I'm sorry, my line's off, but basically it's been going down. Right. From back here, May 10th, you had straight down the whole time. Look at the S&P 500. And then now it's making the correction. Which I know we're in a pullback. A correction would be, for those that really want to know, sorry about my cheesy chicken scratch on the screen, it would be 10%. That's a correction. And right now we're at about a little over 6%. So we have a strong pullback going on, but it's not a correction yet. And it may or may not become one. But the other thing I wanted to mention is I happen to be a little bit in the know about some guys that have some really good data. They have a really pretty good set of logic that they have a pretty decent size subscriber base, okay? And two or three of the guys come from a career in brokerage, fairly large brokerage firms. One of the guys was on the Philadelphia Exchange, and anyway, you get the point, right? There's guys kind of in the know a little bit. I don't want to paint them as they know everything, but they have some software. It's pretty decent software. I've made some pretty good money off of it on their subscription service, and maybe I'm not necessarily going to promote it here on my channel, but anyway, the point is I have access to the data, and they just came out today because I'm on their mailing list. And one of their biggest indicators that they use, and it's a proprietary, well, not really, but the way they use it, it's almost proprietary. They came out with one of their biggest indicators today that said the indicator just switched over from bull to bear. So think about it. Since way back here on whatever day this was, like early September, this entire time, their indicator was still bullish because of all this upward pressure for 9 years, or however long this bull market's been going on. It's taken all this time for their indicator to finally catch up and say, hold on a second, something's going on. So, and that's a good thing. So their indicator doesn't just switch after a few days. It really takes a lot of price movement and money flow out of the market for their indicator to change. And it changed today, guys, from bull to bear. And that is a significant change without diving too deep into details, okay? That's a significant change, okay? So it gives a lot of credence to, you guess what I'm going to say next, this ain't over, guys. It ain't over. And there's a lot of confirmation, well, some confirmation coming out now after this 3-week run, more than 3 weeks. I guess we're looking at basically a 5 weeks, maybe like a month or 5 weeks run we've been going on here, downtrend. Now we're beginning to hear, wait a minute, something's going on, right? Big movement over a longer period of time is beginning to show its colors. So I wanted to share that. All right, tomorrow, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, guys. I kind of talked about that. I didn't have any position. I didn't close any positions today, guys. But I am going to talk about a swing trade that I think could make good, okay? Because I'm a little bit reluctant to trade long, even though there could have been money made here for sure. Okay, but I'm being patient because we're still just coming out of the middle of this cycle, okay? And I want to see what happens. Does this thing just come up to here? Does it just fill in this little wick tomorrow? Does it stay small? Does it just bust through? You know, what's going to happen tomorrow? That's a big day tomorrow. What's going to happen with this trend line? Okay? But at some point, I would suspect at some point this thing's going to run out of gas. I don't know exactly when. It might just, whatever it does, whether it goes way up here, or whether it just fills in this little wick and then starts tracking sideways. At some point, however high it gets, let me clear the screen here. I don't know if it's going to be like that. I don't know if it's going to be up here at the, is it going to be way up in here, way up in here? Wherever it finishes doing its rebound here, okay? At some point, let's just pick here at this trend line. It's going to start working its way down, right? And that's where I'm more inclined to think the trade should be made, okay? And I could be wrong because, the market is what it is, but I don't think this is sustainable, guys. I don't think this up thing going on is sustainable. I don't think it's going to continue just to go up. At some point, this thing's going to turn, and I think that's the right trade. And in this case, guys, instead of me doing a daily trade like I did most of all this, I think I'm going to do a swing trade here. And that swing trade, guys, can last anywhere from a few days to maybe a week or two. Okay? However long, when I get a sense that this thing's going to turn, and we'll know. The Big Daddy's going to do a little something like that at some point, whatever. Maybe it's up here when it does it. I don't know. It's going to do a little hook. Okay? The VIX might have a little boom. All right? The VIX might go up wherever it does. Okay? I'll know when it's going to make that little turn. And when it does, and I get confirmation, which the stochastic momentum index might take a day or two to kind of give us some confirmation. But when it does, that'll be the trade I'm looking for, guys. So just be patient, right? Not every day I'm going to put out profit loss, a video that has my profit loss, because not every day I'm going to take a position because I'm being patient during this time right here, okay? Because look at today. Imagine today, guys, if you took a big trade here. I mean, money could have easily been made, especially if you took the trade here. But imagine you're up here and you're getting in like 3/4 of the way up today, and all of a sudden, bam, the thing pulls back 50% on you, and which is almost what it did. Almost pulled back an entire 50% of this candlestick today. Imagine that. You get caught out holding the bag up in here, thinking this thing's going to the moon. Okay? So I'm being a little bit cautious because I don't, there's an old saying, don't trade against the trend. The trend is this way. It still is. Yeah, we got a few days of going up, but the market's got to prove that this is going to the moon. It's got to prove it, and it hasn't proved it, right? So that's my take, guys, is I'm kind of waiting to see where this thing fizzles out. Somewhere here, whatever. Okay? Don't think it's going to get up in this area. I don't think it's going to make it up there. Okay? If it, wherever it fizzles out, that's going to be the trade I make. Coming down into this cycle low. Okay? When that happens, I'll let everybody know. When I close position, I'll let everybody know. So this is going to take a little while for this to kind of bear fruit, right? It might go all the way into next week, because remember this is the 18th. I didn't put it on the screen, but guys and gals, this is around the 18th. It might be the 14th, it might be the 15th. Some of them have on the 18th, but on this chart it's about the 18th. Okay, So we're keeping an eye on that. That's the trade I see coming up. That's how I'm going to play it. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, guys and gals, go ahead and give me, go ahead and subscribe, I should say. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to click that little bell to be notified of all the videos they put out, guys. Remember, guys, whenever I close position on this YouTube channel, I always share it, and I'll continue to share it. And we'll talk to you all real soon again next time.